Good morning, student. Today we discuss about capital gain. Capital gain can be defined as any profit that is received through the sale of a capital asset. The profit that is received fall under the income category. Therefore, a tax need to be paid on the income that is received. The tax that is paid is called capital gain tax, and it can either be long term or short term. The tax that is levied on the long term and short term gain start from 10% and 15% respectively. Under the Income Tax Act, capital gain tax in India need to be paid in case the individual inherit the property and there is no sale. However, if the person who has inherited the property decided to sell it, tax will have to be paid on the income that has been generated from the sale. Some of the example of capital asset are jewelry, machinery, leasehold right, trademark, patent, vehicle, house property, building and land. Types of capital asset. There are two types of capital assets are mentioned below. Long-term capital asset. In case individual own an asset for a duration of more than 36 months, the asset is a long-term capital asset. Debt-oriented mutual funds, jewelry, etc. that are held for a duration for more than 36 months will come under the category, and there is no 24-month reduction period under such circumstances. The below mentioned assets are considered as long-term assets if they are held for a duration of more than 12 months. Zero coupon bond, not dependent on whether they quoted or not. Unit Trust of India, equity-based mutual funds unit, securities that are listed on stock exchange that is recognized in India. Example of such securities are government securities, bond and debentures. Preference share or equities that are held on in a company that is listed on stock exchange that is recognized in India. Short-term capital asset. Short-term capital asset. In case assets are held for a duration of 36 months or less, it can be defined as short-term capital assets. However, for removable assets such as house property, building and land, the duration has been reduced from 36 months to 24 months. Therefore, if an individual wishes to sell a land or houses after holding it for a duration of 24 months, the profit that the individual makes from it comes under long-term capital gain. In case of property has been inherited or given as a gift, the amount of the time of the property was held by the previous owner is also considered when determining whether the property can be considered as a short-term capital asset or a long-term capital asset. The date on which the bonus share were allotted is considered when determining the category under which bonus share or right share falls. How to calculate capital gain? Depending on the amount of time that the asset has been held, the calculation of capital gain is very well. Some of the important points that individuals should know when calculating capital gain are mentioned below. Cost of improvement. If there are any expenses that have been incurred by the seller because of any alteration or deduction that have been made to the property, however, any improvements made before 1st April 2001 can be considered. 1st April 2001 cannot be considered. Acquisition cost, the amount of money that is the seller paid in order to acquire the property. Full value consideration, the amount of money that the seller will receive because of the property transfer. Capital gain are charged from the year the transaction was made, even if the money was not received in that particular year. In certain cases where the capital asset is also the property of the taxpayer, the acquisition cost and the improvement cost of the previous owner will also be included. Capital gain tax. Capital gain tax in India. The first thing to remember is the following condition that lead to capital tax chargeable to tax. The transaction should be of a capital asset. On the date of transfer, the asset must be a capital asset. The transfer must be made by the taxpayer. The transfer must be made during the previous year. There must be gain or loss and must be as a result of the transfer. What is a capital asset? Capital asset is any asset that a taxpayer holds. It may or may not be related to the business or profession or held for personal use. It includes assets that are tangible or intangible, movable or immovable, and fixed or circulating. For example, house property, land, shares and stock, mutual funds, bonds, jewelry, vehicle, patent, and trademarks. Under the Income Tax Act 1961, the below, however, is not included in the definition of capital asset. The stock in trade, raw material, and consumable store that a taxpayer holds for its business or profession. The movable property a taxpayer holds for his or on behalf of his family for personal use. Special bearer bond and specific gold bond. The deposit certificate that are issued under the scheme of gold monetization. The agricultural land in India. However, if the agricultural land fulfill any of the below requirements, it is a capital asset. Condition 1. Firstly, it is situated within the jurisdiction of either a municipality, a notified area committee, a town area committee, a cantonment board. Secondly, the population of the above is more than 10,000. Condition 2. It falls with a distance limit from a municipality or cantonment board. It falls within the specific population range. In case a property is situated from a municipal locality limit, distance from a local limit of the municipality or cantonment board is 2 km and the population is greater than 10 lakh and less than 1 lakh. Second condition, distance from municipality board or cantonment board is 6 km and population of the locality is greater than 1 lakh and less than 10 lakh. Distance from the cantonment board or municipality is 8 km and the population of the municipality is greater than 10 lakh. What is the holding period and why it is important? The holding period of any asset is the duration for which the asset is held by the person owing the asset. It is the time difference between the date of purchase and date of sale of asset. The holding period of an asset is essential because the type of capital gain or loss is dependent on it. Basis of the holding period, an asset will have long-term or short-term capital gain. The rate of tax and treatment is different for both the type of gains, hence it becomes very important to calculate it accurately. While calculating the holding period, the period for which the previous owner held the asset is also considered. This is only the taxpayer acquire an asset by inheritance, succession or gift. The holding period is counted from the date of allotment in case of bonus share and right share. Capital gain exemptions. Section 54. Capital gain on residential house property. Eligibility for exemption. Individual taxpayer and HUF, Hindu undivided family. Long-term capital gain is eligible for the exemption. A capital gain is arising from the sale or transfer of residential property. Another residential property must be purchased with the sale proceeds. The new residential property must be purchased either 1 year before the sale of the property or otherwise 2 years after the sale, whichever is later. In case of construction, it must be completed within 3 years of the sale of the old property. The exemption amount will be the investment amount or capital gain, whichever is lower. The exemption will be withdrawn if the new property is sold within 3 years of purchase date. Additionally, the option to deposit the proceeds in capital gain account scheme is available. Section 54B, capital gain on an agricultural land. Eligible, individual taxpayer or HUF. Long-term or short-term capital gain is eligible for the exemption. Capital gain is arising from the sale or transfer of agricultural land. The agricultural land must be used by the taxpayer, his parents, Hindu undivided family. The land must be used in the last 2 years before it transfer for agriculture purposes only. Another agricultural land must be purchased with the sale proceed. The agricultural land may be in a rural or urban area. The new residential property must be purchased within 2 years after the sale. The exemption amount will be the investment amount in the new land or capital gain, whichever is lower. The exemption will be withdrawn if the new property is sold within 3 years of purchase date. The proceeds can be deposited in the CGAS account so as to secure the exemption. Section 54D, capital gain on compulsory acquisition of land or building. Long-term or short-term capital gain is eligible for the exemption. The capital gain is arise from the compulsory acquisition of land or building forming part of an industrial undertaking. The land or building must be used in the last 2 years before its transfer for industrial purposes. Another land or building must be purchased with the sale proceed. The land or building must be used to re-establish the said undertaking. The new land or building must be purchased in order to claim exemptions. Additionally, the purchase must be within 3 years after receiving the compensation. The exemption amount will be the investment amount or capital gain, whichever is lower. The exemption will be withdrawn if the new property is sold within 3 years of purchase date. In this case, the option to deposit the proceeds in CGAS account is also available. Set off and carry forward of capital losses. A capital loss cannot be set off with any other gain or income under other income heads. A short-term capital loss can be set off against a long-term capital gain or a short-term capital gain, whereas a long-term capital loss can only be set off against long-term capital gain only. A taxpayer can carry forward a short-term or a long-term capital loss for up to 8 assessment year. However, a taxpayer must file the income tax return on the due date to carry forward such losses. It is mandatory to file income tax return to carry forward losses? Yes. It is mandatory to file income tax return by the taxpayer. The taxpayer must file the return before the tax filing due date. The ITR form are different for every taxpayer. The applicability of ITR forms varies with respect to source of income as well as a type of taxpayer. Similarly, the applicable tax slab is different for every taxpayer. Moreover, the tax slab depends on the total income. Thank you.